Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're over here on the Japanese side of the game with the release of the new arena. So today we had a double arena release, one on global, one on Japan, and I gotta say, this arena was much easier to actually build teams for than it was for me to build the teams for Suwon, Joan, Wolf. But nevertheless, we do have 3 teams for you guys today in today's video, and they are all centric around Reiju now. I was sort of looking at a way to sort of build another team, but I just didn't have the time at the moment, with work and the 2 arena releases. I really wanted to get this video out for you guys, but over the next coming days, I'll sort of have a look at it and see if I can put together some more teams. But the thing about my JP account, as always, is I don't exactly have the luxury of all of those free-to-play units. It is a fairly new account. I do have a lot of legends, a lot of rare recruits, but with the free-to-play units, I am struggling a little bit. We're going to quickly talk about what this Ceasar clan does before we hop into today's video. His captain is a 3x captain, cerebrals, and 1.2 HP. Like, who really cares, to be honest? But his special is very interesting, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about Reiju aging quite well, or being very, very good when new content comes out, because this particular unit and this content is built around Reiju, and this Ceasar works very, very well with her. He reduces 2 turns of despair and bind on the crew. He does 40 times his attack and typeless damage to all enemies, poisons all enemies. Depending on the number of times this character triggers his special, boosts the attack against enemies with poison or strong poison by following. 1.5 if it's the first time, 1.75 for 1 times, and 2 times if you've used his special 2 times. So basically you get the 1.5 no matter what, then if you use it again, you get the 1.75 2 times after that. Now, he does have the Sailor ability where he gives himself cooldown every time a cerebral character other than himself uses a special, and he's completely immune to paralysis, which is nice. He also has the limit break ability of double special activation, which means that you can get that conditional boost at 1.75 very, very easily. And he also has cooldown reduction on himself at the start of the adventure, so you can have his special ready to go very, very early. So this works great with Reiju, because you can poison, get the HP cut off with Reiju, then get the attack boost. And you can do those shenanigans with double special, then reapply the poison and have that conditional boost as well. So it works really, really nicely. His support is 5% attack, HP, and recovery to cerebral characters, but who kind of cares? So that's enough about the character. Like I said, we have 3 teams. They're all cerebral based. They're all based around Reiju. And with that said, let's dive in. Alright, so team number 1 is that big old Quailin team that we like to use, utilizing double Reiju. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so once we hit stage 3, we actually come up against Ceasar himself. He gives us 2 turns of paralysis, 30 turns of strong toxic or progressive poison, and gives us a full board of poison slots. So this is where utilizing Reiju just works amazingly, and I would highly recommend just bringing a friend Captain Reiju, as she makes this content very, very easy. Whenever you get poisoned, Reiju auto-triggers her special, so you not only remove the poison on yourself, you remove the poison slots and the paralysis, but because we are running double Reiju, we actually get that 30% HP cut, which is really, really nice. Onto stage 4, we come up against Brownbeard. Now against Brownbeard, he's going to bind our middle row for 8 turns, which go down to 5. He again gives us a full board of poison slots, and he gives us that orb seal mechanic on our captains. Now with Reiju's limit break, she can actually remove that, which is really, really nice. Normally it's like whatever, but for this content, it works really nice. We also get 5 turns of attack down, so we can remove the bind and the attack down with our Koala special. Koala not only does that, but she gives us color affinity, and if we hit 3 perfects, we get color affinity on the next stage. We then can use our Reiju special to rotate all of those orbs into matching slots, which is really, really nice. And Bob's your uncle, we can easily take this stage out. Now, you can actually use the super typing of Reiju there if you want to for more damage. And Vivi is really not essential in this particular team, purely because we have the super types of Reiju. I just wanted to include Vivi here because she's one of the new units, and, well, I mean, it's Vivi for crying out loud. She's so damn strong. Like, so, so strong. But in saying that, she's really not essential. You can easily replace her with anyone else. And honestly, so is the Baby 5. You can easily replace the Baby 5 as well. I just put them here because they're boosted units. And honestly, all I did was literally just swap the Vivi with the Monet, free-to-play Monet. And then I just put Reiju as my captain. But once we hit the final stage against Ceasar, you can only use 3 specials. He binds your recovery, and he only lets you do 20 million damage. He isn't immune to poison, however, so you can actually get the poison off. But what we can do here is we can use the Vivi special for an orb boost. We get an attack boost with Reiju. We have a chain buff with the support of Sabo. And it just works really, really nicely. On the second turn, however, you always have to go to the second turn. You get a full board of unfavorable odds and 3 turns of despair. This is where that Bello Betty special is really, really nice, because we not only get a full board of orbs, but we can also remove the despair and give ourselves a chain buff once again. We get burn on this stage as well. You can easily remove that with Baby 5, but like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can see, like, we're hitting greats and we're absolutely fine. So, that was the double Reiju team. It works very, very nicely. Obviously, the content's built for her. Let's move on to the next team now. Alright, so moving on to the next team now, we're utilizing a hybrid anniversary lore with the new Reiju. So, this is the team. These are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so we're over here on stage 3, and we come up against Ceasar himself. Ceasar is a dex unit that gives us 2 turns of paralysis, 30 turns of toxic, and gives us a full board of toxic orb. So this is why I have built the teams around Reiju, mainly because I just didn't really have enough time to think of ways to get around this particular stage, and just utilizing Reiju as a captain is just perfect. You don't need 2 Reijus for this, just 1 Reiju will suffice. Now, I actually used the special of Mihawk and Perona here, but you actually don't have to. You can actually save that to the next turn, just to get a little bit more damage output, but either way, it'll actually work here, it'll work on the next stage. We've really only got Mihawk Perona here for the support of Kuma. The Kuma support is the big reason why we included Mihawk Perona on this particular team, as well as them being cerebral. Onto the Brownbeard stage now, stage 4, we get a full board of Toxic Orbs once again, as well as getting that Orb lock on our captains. We also get Bind and Attack down for 5 turns, so make sure you have Chopper in the bottom slots. Chopper's great because he can not only remove the poison, but he removes Attack down and the Bind, and then gives us recovery, which is great. Unfortunately, though, we can't get around that Orb seal, but it is absolutely fine because we can just break them by hitting greats. Now, this is what I was saying about utilizing the Mihawk Perona special. Brownbeard's actually only immune to delay, so you could easily just use the switch ability of Mihawk Perona here and then get the conditional, and I imagine you should be able to take out Brownbeard in 1 turn, but this was actually my very first run trying this team, and it actually worked really, really nicely. On the second turn, Brownbeard's actually going to give us, will give himself 99 turns of attack up, and he actually binds our ship for 10 turns, which is just a little bit annoying, but it's not anything too drastic. But if you guys use the Mihawk Perona special here, you shouldn't actually get that bind ship, and you'll actually output a little bit more damage. On to the final stage against Ceasar, we get our recovery blinded, but we can remove that with limit break. We can only use 3 specials. We get paralysis and the toxic slots, so utilizing the Reiju special here just works so damn well, namely because we have to hang around here for 2 turns anyway. With Shank's crew, we can get 3 turns of a 3.5 times chain lock. We can use the super typing of Reiju to get an orb boost, and we can actually stockpile that orb boost with Pudding. Now, Pudding's really good for this, because not only does Pudding stockpile the orb special, but Pudding's actually going to rotate those orbs on the next turn for us, which is really, really nice. We just want to make sure that we can do 2 million damage, as we can only do 20 million damage against Ceasar on the very first turn. I'm pretty sure he only has like 40 million HP, so you can actually take him out over those 2 turns easy peasy. Once the first turn has passed, Ceasar is going to give us a full board of unfavorable slots and despair for 3 turns. This is where Pudding comes in play very, very nicely. Pudding is going to rotate all of our orbs into matching, and then with Lore, we can just get an extra 1.5 times damage. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you pretty much don't need to use Lore, and you don't really need to use Mihawk Perona on stage 3. You could easily use them on stage 4, avoid your ship getting blinded, and you will output a lot more damage on this particular stage. But as you can see, it really doesn't matter because like we have enough damage to take it out even with our ship blinded. So that was the Lore Reiju team. Let's move on to the final team of the video now. And the final team of the video is actually utilizing Legend V2 Marco as our captain and a friend Reiju. So these are the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so on stage 3, we come up against Ceasar Clown once again. He's going to give us a full board of Poison Orbs, 2 turns of Paralysis, and 30 turns of Toxic. Again, this is why you should bring a friend Reiju. It just makes life so much easier. And something I haven't noted in all these runs, all of the friend Reijus I'm using are actually the OPTC friend Reiju. So you don't need a max limit break Reiju, you don't need anything fancy, you don't need anything special. You literally just need Reiju to be your friend captain. Doesn't need sockets, doesn't need special levels, doesn't need anything. Just bring a friend Reiju, you are good for this particular stage. With Marco as captain as well, Marco's actually a powerhouse cerebral, which is really, really nice. Which actually means that he works amazingly with Reiju because they have the exact same classes. Moving on to the Brownbeard stage now, though, we get blinded on our middle row, as well as getting poison slots. So the beautiful thing about utilizing Legend Marco as our captain is we can actually remove that orb seal on our captains. With the switchability of Shirishiri, we can get the overheal mechanic, but with Marco, we basically get that anyway. So with that said, you can pretty much replace Shirishiri on this team with literally anyone that removes poison. A really good unit that you could replace it with is the Shiryu. He's another int unit. I don't know if he is Powerhouse or Cerebral. I'm pretty sure he is Powerhouse, but he's a really, really good option. Otherwise, you got stuff like Crocus or even stuff like Heracles. And as long as they're a Powerhouse Cerebral, any way to remove the poison is going to work nicely. Marco gives us a nice chunky 2.5 times color affinity boost, and we get a chain boost with the Shirashiri unit, as well as giving us a full border orbs, or rainbow orbs, I should say. Moving on to the final stage against Ceasar, we can only do 20 million damage, so we have to hang around here for 2 turns. He gives us 5 turns of paralysis, a bunch of poison slots, and that is where this beautiful, beautiful Reiju special comes into play. With this Reiju special, we can remove all those nasty defects, and we can output enough damage on turn 1, as she actually has her super typing as well, which can actually give you an orb buff. That's why just running double Reiju for this is just, it's so damn easy. But look, this special, man, like, I don't know how this shit gets monetized. Like, how? Who passed that? Whoever passed this special needs a raise in Bandai. Like, bruh. Mate. Scary stuff, honestly. But, as I was saying, we're then going to use the special of Law here, and then we're going to use the Halloween Shank special. Now, what you can actually do here, you can use the super typing of Reiju on this particular turn and save the Law special. That way, you can actually use the Magello special instead and lock all of your nice chunky orbs. And that way, you don't have to worry about losing those rainbow orbs, and you can actually... Well, actually, you can probably use those rainbow orbs, lock those rainbow orbs on the previous turn, and that way you don't have to worry about the poison slots. And then you could probably do some shenanigans with, like, double Marco here, remove the paralysis with the Marco special. Actually, that might work. That actually might be a really good shout. But nevertheless, this actually works too. With the support of Whitebeard, we can remove the Despair, and then we have the super typing of Reiju just so we do more damage. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button for me. If you're new to the channel too, hit the big red subscribe button. If you've already hit that button and you want to support your boy even more, hit that juicy join button. It's not expected, but greatly appreciated. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Lates!